Next on Startup, we head to Atlanta, Georgia to talk to Alex, a tenacious and environmentally conscious entrepreneur who created Eco-Friendly Maid Service, a cleaning company that manufactures cleaning products from organic and raw ingredients. Then we head over to St. Louis to meet with Mike, a longtime service industry professional and pinball fanatic who started Orbit, a unique pinball lounge with a twist. All of this and more is next on Startup.
It all starts with an idea, and everyone has them. In the world of business, where you choose to take your idea determines where your idea will take you. Baker College is proud to support Startup and those who dare to share their ideas with the world.
The American small business was built on one thing: relationships. And every time a customer walks through the door, a new one begins. Pay Anywhere was built to help entrepreneurs do what they do best. So keep loving what you do. Just get paid for it. Pay Anywhere.
The Chevrolet Volt, an everyday electric car with gas for longer trips. The nature of things to come. Chevrolet. Find new roads.
American Express is proud to support Startup and the millions of small businesses that put in the hard work to be open for business in neighborhoods across the country.
My name is Gary Brado, and I'm a documentary filmmaker and an entrepreneur. The economy is in less than perfect shape, and when the jobs go away, there's nothing left to do but get up and get creative. And there are people all over America doing just that. It's estimated that up to 85% of new businesses failed. So I'm going coast to coast to hear the personal stories of the people who beat the odds and started a successful business from the ground up. This is Startup. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and we're going to go talk to Alex, who created Eco-Friendly Maid Service. What started as a way for Alex to help his aunt keep her house clean while she was ill has turned into Atlanta's premier house cleaning service, a soon-to-be franchise, and an eco-friendly retail business. Let's go hear his story. The EPA ranks poor indoor air quality among the top 5 environmental risks to public health, and found levels up to 5 times higher inside the home. The root cause could be chemical cleaning products that contain ingredients known to cause human or environmental health problems. Alex has always been an entrepreneur, but after heavily researching chemicals and organics while cleaning for a sick relative, he realized the market potential and put everything he had into becoming one of Atlanta's premier cleaning companies. Tell us about yourself. Where are you from? Where did you go to school? Did you go to college? Just so we can get a feel for who you are.
Yeah, my name's Alex Sherman. I grew up in the mountains of North Georgia. I went to high school up there and went to a small college in Gainesville just for a short time though.
And you're from, you said, the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains?
Yeah, it's very, very tiny. I mean, the grocery store's 20, 25 minutes away.
Right.
You know, you spend your time playing in the woods. You don't really do what, you know, people in the city do, go out to movies and stuff like that.
Growing up in that environment, does that prompt more of like a maker mentality because you're doing more for yourself?
I grew up building forts and stuff, so I think that definitely a hands-on, do-it-yourself, make your own path mentality definitely comes out of living in the woods.
Let's go back to the inception of this whole concept.
I think that I started getting into the green movement just by researching chemicals and researching what was in my food, what was in the products that we bought. So I started kind of simplifying my life and not necessarily making my own ingredient or my own products at that time, but I definitely was much more aware of what we were bringing into our home.
For what reason?
For health reasons, for health reasons, and then also money reasons. You could make products yourself, it's simple, you know what's in it, and you know it's not going to be unhealthy for you. Another big reason why I went into business in the cleaning section is I kind of combined my newfound mentality about going green with, you know, I was taking care of an elderly aunt, she needed a cleaning person, I took it on, I thought, you know, this is a great idea, we could make our own products, and so that's pretty much how that idea blossomed from there.
What type of products did you start making and how?
At the very beginning, it was very simple products. I mean, we would even just put vinegar in a bottle and go clean. We would use baking soda and just go clean. Over the years, especially over the past 2 years, I brought on Charlene Hammerson. She's my vice president and childhood best friend. And she really started going into, essential oils, the good things that they do, the bad things they do, what properties are good for cleaning the home, and also smell. She definitely wanted to make sure that it smelled good. And then we also did a lot of online research. We call it YouTube University. I don't know if you've ever heard that term.
Not till now, but I know what it is because I use it for everything.
Yeah, and everyone does. I mean, my partner and I reclocked the bathroom by looking on YouTube.
So what's the steps?
The steps for the Eco Scrub. So basically, we do a layering method.
Okay.
This is baking soda. This is iodized salt. And I've got all the essential oils here. We've got from lemon, peppermint, cinnamon, eucalyptus. Along with the properties that these essential oils hold, as far as cleansing, not only is it cleansing and cleaning your home, but it's also aromatherapeutic.
Yeah, there were definitely some hiccups along the way. Definitely some smells we didn't like, mixing essential oils.
Is this a trial and error thing? I mean, or is this another YouTube University?
This is definitely a trial and error because, before, Alex and I, we were messing around with our all-purpose and we were thinking, why didn't we mix vinegar and baking soda together? We were like, that's brilliant, let's do it.
Pipe bomb.
Exactly. So we were like, we should have learned from our 8th grade volcano project.
How about the citrus?
The citrus Eco Scrub?
Yeah.
It's just a white powder. We mix salt and baking soda and a blend of essential oils. And basically you can sprinkle that in tubs and toilets, in the sink if you need to scrub.
Is it abrasive?
It is abrasive.
Like the other product?
It's mildly abrasive.
Chemical manufacturing accounts for 21 million tons, or 55% of all the hazardous waste produced.
First and foremost, the citric acid is antifungal, antibacterial, and when it's mixed with our Eco Scrub, it creates a foam.
We each have a half a grapefruit here.
Yes, I've already sprinkled some Eco Scrub in there.
Okay.
Now, what we're gonna do is kind of take the grapefruit in the palms of your hands and kind of almost like you're turning it inside out.
Okay.
This is gonna release, a lot of juice.
Oh, wow.
And then it's gonna create like a sponge. And you can hear the fizzing.
Yeah, it's bubbling up.
Yeah, it creates this awesome foam. And then you just kind of, it smells so good.
Yeah, it does.
And you just kind of scrub it around. And see how foamy it is?
I never in a million years would have thought of cleaning my tub with grapefruit.
Right?
Every day the attitude is changing. More people are going green than ever before, and for good reason. But I think that the attitude is, it's more expensive. But if you throw the green into it, you actually have to actively tell your consumers, we're not more expensive, because we're not. I mean, our cleaning products are so cheap, so there's no reason for us to be more expensive. So that was a huge obstacle we had to overcome.
The creation of the name, the logo, the LLC, the website. Let's go back to the very beginning.
Well, then we'll go back to YouTube University.
Okay.
I think that a lot of that is very daunting for people. They don't understand, in order to get a business checking account, I need I need a business to be incorporated. To get that done, I need to do this. And so there's a lot of things that were in my way, and I didn't have the money for an attorney to go out and do it. So we used LegalZoom. They were pretty informative. They didn't really go all the way through, so we did need to go online and look up more. But it was very daunting. Finding the name was, I can remember like it was yesterday. I sat in my room and just wrote down names, and then every name that I came up with, I would go and Google it and see if anybody else out there, had it. I know that there's a lot that have ties on the name green, so I really wanted to stay away from that. And so when I came across Eco-Friendly Maid Service, while it's a very long name, it was very to the point. And I thought, if I don't have advertising dollars to tell people who I am, then why not have a name that's just very straightforward? The costs were super minimal. I started the company with $650, $500 to incorporate, and then the graphic designer who was a friend, and she really didn't know how much she was worth at the time, and I think she just wanted to have fun and actually do something commissioned, so she charged me $150.
Did you do a business plan in the beginning?
We to this day do not have a business plan. A business plan was something that I felt like I always needed, but we never went after financing. I think that's one of the biggest reasons you need a business plan, is to entertain investors and obviously keep yourself on track. But I think that it was just all in our head and we knew what we wanted to do.
Entrepreneur.com states, although technology has had an impact on cleaning services, this is not a high-tech business, nor is there any glitz or glam to it. And there will be times that you'll have as much trouble getting respect as Rodney Dangerfield.
This is basically where all of our cleaners can come and management can come, and we can basically manage everything from this very room right here.
So walk me through. I'm a new hire. All right.
You just come in, you'll drop your dirties. This is where you'll get all the liquid products that we have. Pens and paper. We encourage all of our cleaners to leave notes for the clients. Vacuum bags. This is like all the linens. They have their own files here. This is our concentrate station. This is really management only. This is where we, help fill up the bottles with concentrate for them to take out in the field.
Right. So you guys really try to concentrate on that area.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's our biggest area.
Sorry, that was horrible.
Oh, I got you. Sorry.
What are some of the challenges and hardships, I guess, that you had to overcome?
I would say getting clients was our hardest thing. Ultimately, it was just me. So I'd go clean a house and then go do marketing. I would just hang out the window and throw brochures on people's, mailboxes, and, for every 100 pieces of marketing, I would hope to get one client. We have a term called the toilet bowl blues, and it happens. I mean, there's been many times where I've been cleaning a client's house, or I've been up at 11 o'clock at night doing payroll or something, earlier in the days whenever it was just me managing this thing. And there's a lot of frustration that goes along with it. There's a lot of, when the company needs money, it comes from you, and usually that means deducting it from your paycheck. So there's a lot of sacrifice that's involved in owning your own company, and I think people realize that. I think that it really comes to light once you actually take that step.
There are a million ways to start a business, but how did Alex do it? Let's find out. He started with around $650 in the bank and a credit score below 500. It took $650 to start his business, and in his first year, he made a profit of around $18,000. The one word that Alex uses to describe what it really takes to make it in business is faith. If you have a good idea, you shouldn't just brush it off or sweep it under the rug. And you really need to scour what your intentions are in order to have a crystal clear vision of the business that you want to create. And it looks like Alex created a green company that's really cleaning up. For more information, log on to our website and click the link for eco-friendly maid service. I'm on Sutton Boulevard in St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm gonna go speak with Mike, who created Orbit, a unique pinball lounge that's out of this world. Let's go hear his story. Early forms of pinball were established in the 1700s and originated in a game called Bagatelle, where players used cue sticks to hit balls up an inclined playfield that rebounded off pins into scoring holes. From the 1940s to the 70s, pinball was illegal due to its close relation to gambling. Mike has been both in the service industry and a huge fan of pinball for most of his life. So when the opportunity to create Orbit came along, it was truly a dream come true. Start off by telling us who you are, a little bit about your background, history, education, work, the big picture.
My name's Mike Stivers. I've been bartending ever since college. I went to KU in Lawrence, Kansas, and that's probably where I originally got the idea for the pinball bar. There was a bar there called the Replay Lounge, still there. Ever since then, bartending on and off. I think anybody who's worked in the industry at some point in time has either wanted to open their own bar, their own restaurant, and finally made the decision to just go ahead and give it a go. I was working at Herbie's Vintage 72 down in the Central West End. I had been there for about a year and a half, 2 years, when I decided that I was going to do this, and I started buying up pinball machines. I left Herbie's and really kind of started putting all my effort into it, and that was, I would say, lease negotiations probably took close to 6 months.
Is there zoning considerations that you have to have, or change of use, and the number of liquor licenses that exist in an area, to kind of tell people about that?
Getting approval from the city is number one. If the city doesn't like your idea, you're just not going to get anywhere. For us here in St. Louis, if you're in the county, you're going to have a city liquor license, you're going to have a county liquor license, and you're going to need a state liquor license. You're going to need a city business license, a county business license,
Health department.
Zoning. You're going to have to go through zoning and planning meetings. You're going to have to go through design review boards for your signage.
So really simple and straightforward. Just a couple things and you're done.
Just put pinball machines in and a beer cooler and you're ready to go.
Wow, that is incredible.
It's that easy.
How did you figure all of this out, or was it just kind of step by step? You learned along the way?
A lot of it I kind of learned as I went. The city of Maplewood was really helpful in getting things done.
What were the things that I guess really got you excited about this location? What kind of shape was this in? Talk about lease negotiations, because that's another hard one.
Yeah. Lease negotiations, like I said, it took us about 6 months. The city of Maplewood also has a retail coordinator.
Okay.
It's somebody who's not going to negotiate the lease for you, but they can sit down and explain what it means. I would say our lease is, off the top of my head, around 50 pages long of legal mumbo jumbo that the average person just doesn't understand. Once you sign that lease, you're in it for the long haul.
What kind of shape was the place in?
The place wasn't too bad. We did paint just about every square inch, and we had to do some things like the bar. We had to build that out.
That wasn't here.
The bar wasn't there. The back bar wasn't there. It did have good bones. It was basically me and my head bartender doing all the painting. Tile work. We had a carpenter come in to help us with the bar.
What does it really take to, I mean, you saw it firsthand, opening of a business, actively involved in it. What type of person does it take?
It's someone that's really driven. I mean, he had to go through and do a lot of stuff with the design and review board throughout Maplewood and talk to different people and gauge interest. And there was so much behind the scenes stuff that you don't realize goes into opening up a bar. And it took months and months and months. And he had a notebook that was literally this wide that had information from everything from the color of the chairs to what color the ceiling was going to be to fabrics and different patterns for the backs and stuff. And he had everything laid out and was very meticulous. I mean, he really, if you look at the book and open it up and go through the pages, it's pretty close to his true vision, what he wanted. And it was amazing to see it go from start to finish and how we got to this point.
The first coin-operated pinball machine was invented in 1931 by Automatic Industries and was called Wiffle Board. Where did your financing come from?
Savings, some personal loans from family.
So no loan?
So no official
conventional loan. What's involved in getting a license to sell alcohol, essentially?
Well, like I said, you have to have for us here, we have to have the city, county, and state liquor license.
Are they really expensive?
Like a state liquor license for just non-Sundays, non-packaged liquor, I think is about $450, and then you're going to pay another
$450,000?
No, $450. And then
really?
$350 to the county or somebody, and then another couple $200-300 to the city. So.
That definitely varies by state.
Yeah.
So if you're interested
really
in a bar, definitely check the numbers in your state. Speaking of the pinball machines, do you have a maintenance guy? How do you maintain these?
It's pretty much all on me.
It's all on you.
It's pretty much on me. Yeah, my first pinball machine was the Jurassic Park over my shoulder, and I would say after the first week, I had about 3 things break. And so it was time to get the manual and get online and start learning how to fix them, especially if I was going to do this, just because they are maintenance heavy.
Having all these pinball machines, do you think that you've made back your investment on them via quarters?
I would say probably not yet.
How much revenue could you bring in on a busy night from all your machines, or have you broken that down?
I think on a busy night, you could be looking, somewhere maybe $200-300.
Okay, so it's a nice additional little bump of income, for sure.
It's not bad. There's things to consider. I have to pay the county per machine for a license, and I also have to pay the city per machine for a license.
So let's look under the hood.
Yeah, let's check it out. Some games are easier to open than others. This one actually is really easy. Goes and it locks, and there's not a whole lot of messing around to get it open.
In 1934, the first automatic scoring mechanism appeared, as well as the first sounds by way of electromechanical chimes, bells, and buzzers. Where do you acquire it? Like Craigslist, auctions, eBay?
Pretty much most of my games were bought either, a couple were bought off eBay, which they were the sketchier buys. A lot of them were Craigslist.
Okay.
Like I said, I would go to, check Craigslist basically in about a 5-6 hour radius of St. Louis.
What's the lowest and the most you spent on a pinball machine?
I think about the lowest I spent was about $1,000, and I'd say the highest is probably, I think I'm at about 3,000 is about the highest I've spent.
How long have you guys been coming here?
Year and a half, I think. About a year and a half.
So a year and a half?
Pretty close to as long as it's been open.
So are you guys like the Norman Cliff of Orbit?
Might be, yeah.
When I walk in, they do say hi to us by name. So.
Everybody knows your name.
Know the bartenders, yeah, absolutely.
What do you think about this place? What is it that makes it different?
So I started coming here because of the pinball. I think there's just a certain type of person that likes to be engaged with something in addition to having that social factor at a bar. And that was really what brought me in, was having something to do in that social setting.
So let's talk a little bit about marketing. When you open a business, the biggest thing is you got to get people there to support it.
We do use Facebook. That's probably our #1 thing right now. We got a lot of good press when we first opened, a couple news shows, so we got a little exposure that way. A lot of word of mouth.
Where'd the logo, the name, and the whole kind of brand design come from?
Originally, the name was going to be Tilt Pinball. There is a Tilt Arcade who was kind enough to give me and my lawyer some papers telling us not to use the name. So we had to go back, we had to change the name, change the logo, change the liquor licenses and all that stuff. Wow. I didn't think that through very well. Orbit's actually it's a term in pinball. It's a shot that goes all the way around.
What's been what you could say your greatest hardship over the course of this whole experience?
Probably just exhaustion. When you're going on 2 weeks with 1 day off, it just adds up. Yeah, that's probably one of the harder things with I would say a small startup business, the amount of time you have to put into it.
What would you say to those folks that are going back into their shift at a corporate restaurant or whatever it is? What advice, encouragement, sense of hope would you give to them?
I mean, it's doable, when I was jumping through all the hoops and paperwork and things, there were times when I sat down and I was like, I know there's people who barely speak English that have businesses. So if they did this, I can do it too.
Yep.
It's I guess the biggest thing I would say to anybody that wanted to to start something, you got to do your homework.
So keep your eyes wide open. Don't fool yourself.
Right. Yeah. Things just don't happen. You gotta work at it to make them happen usually.
There are a million ways to start a business, but how did Mike do it? Let's find out. He started with around $1,000 in the bank and a credit score of 725. It cost $125,000 to open the business that he acquired through a small business loan and credit cards. He turned a profit in year 1 with $198,000 in sales. The one word that Mike said he would use to describe what it takes to make it in business is money. Sometimes in life and in business, in order to score big, you have to bounce around the board a bit just to find the right pocket. And it's not about whether you win or lose, but how you play the game. And it looks like Mike is ready to advance to the next level. For more information, log on to our website and click the link for Orbit.
I see a major shift in sort of the big box retailers to sort of smaller independent markets. First of all, millennials, feel jaded by the big box, big brand, companies. They don't necessarily trust them anymore. They don't trust the quality or the services that are being provided. So they're really looking to the independent entrepreneur, the independent marketplace. Today, because of like social media or the ease at which we can find information, it's a lot easier to be a startup entrepreneur.
Next time on Startup, we head to Nashville, Tennessee to talk with Will, a youth pastor and mentor who created Salem Town Board Company, a business that makes handcrafted skateboards while giving back to the community. Then we swing by Somerset Center, Michigan to talk to Steve, a tenacious visionary on a mission, and the owner of Meckley's, an apple orchard that makes homemade hard cider. Be sure to join us next time on Startup.
Yeah, that's another option for you.
Okay.
See, this might be a little bit more your color.
This one fits perfect. Oh, it feels good too.
Like it was made for you.
I feel very free.
So I know we're on opposite sides of the fence, but why do you always gotta balk about what you do, huh?
American Express is proud to support startup and the millions of small businesses that put in the hard work to be open for business in neighborhoods across the country.
The Chevrolet Volt, an everyday electric car with gas for longer trips. The nature of things to come. Chevrolet, find new roads.
The American small business was built on one thing: relationships. And every time a customer walks through the door, a new one begins. Pay Anywhere was built to help entrepreneurs do what they do best. So keep loving what you do. Just get paid for it. Pay Anywhere.
It all starts with an idea, and everyone has them. In the world of business, where you choose to take your idea determines where your idea will take you. Baker College is proud to support startup and those who dare to share their ideas with the world.